She is Dracula and Martha's teenage daughter who turns 118 in the first film. By the second film, she is the wife of Jonathan and the mother of their son, Dennis, as well as the only granddaughter of Vlad. Appearance: Mavis is a slender teenage vampire with pale skin, light freckles, blue eyes, and short black hair with bangs. She usually wears a black turtleneck dress with long black fingerless gloves, black and red striped tights, and red Converse. Either her makeup or her natural features portray her with black lips, lined eyes, and dusky eyelids. Personality: Mavis is headstrong, intelligent, curious, cheerful, and independent. She has an attitude, but she is very sincere and gentle. Mavis wants a little bit of independence and freedom from her father's overbearing nature and frequently gets bored with his ministrations. She dreams of exploring the world and experiencing all the sights and sounds that the world has to offer, but all that becomes a reality when she meets Jonathan and falls in love, or zings with him before discovering he is human.
I think they zinged.
They zinged?
But I got in the way.
You only zing once in your life.
She also has a caring nature, no matter how horrible the circumstance. When she was in the fake human village her father created, she was worried about the false humans who were on fire even though they were attempting to physically injure her.
Holy rabies, you're on fire. Can I do anything? Can I help you? Dad was right. Dad was right.
In the second film, after becoming a mother, Mavis begins to adopt some of her father's overprotectiveness and attachment to her child.
I thought about what you said, Dad. Maybe I was being a little overprotective.
Thank you, Coffin King.
She takes extreme measures for his safety, rarely leaving his side and wanting to move to California in order for her son to grow up in a safe environment and around other children like him. Unlike her father, she doesn't seem to care that Dennis isn't a full vampire and accepts him for who he is. Even standing up to people who she assumes are prejudicing him for being a hybrid. Though she also seems to want him to be human. History: in 1894 Mavis was born to Martha and Dracula in Transylvania. After the death of her mother she lived alone with her father, Dracula, until she was a young toddler. Later, her father moved himself and Mavis to live inside the newly constructed Hotel Transylvania, intending to keep her there forever in order to ensure her safety from the outside world. The lists. Number 1. Miley Cyrus was originally cast to voice Mavis, but she left the project to concentrate on her music, and was replaced with Selena Gomez. Number 2. Mavis mispronounces Santa Claus as Santa Cruz. Number 3. Mavis never really heard about Hawaii and calls it paradise but pronounces it Hawaii.
Well, it's not Hawaii, but I guess it's still technically out there.
She also said Hawaii once.
Budapest? Is that near Hawaii?
It's actually Hawaii.
What?
Number 4. She is always willing to help someone out, even if her own life is in danger. Proof of that is when she was at the human village. After all the threats, the pitchfork-armed, torch-wielding humans made of burning her clothes, taking her candy, biting her toes, and even shoving garlic bread in her face, she still offered her help when the humans were on fire. Number 5. She was born on September 28, making her a Libra. Her birthday is September 28, 1894. Number 6. From those who notice the comparison between Dracula and Mavis to Dr. Orpheus and his daughter Triana from the Venture brothers. Both are single dads with a large ham nature. Orpheus has been mistaken for Dracula. Both daughters are a perky goth with short hair, a short skirt, and striped stockings, and both girls have an adorable love interest. Number 7. She is also Jewish. In the interview, Dracula said that Mavis's 118th birthday will be bigger than her sweet 116th and also bigger than her bat mitzvah. Bat mitzvah is a Jewish coming-of-age ritual. Bat is Hebrew for girl and mitzvah is a commandment and a law. It translates to daughter of the law. Number 8. Both Dracula and Mavis are very vulnerable to sunlight. to the point that the touch of the smallest sliver of dawn light on the tip of her shoes made Mavis yelp and pull back into the shade. More significant exposure causes Dracula to smoke and embers to appear on his bad fur. Still, while painful, Dracula was able to spend a significant amount of time in the sun and healed within minutes of returning to the shade. Furthermore, even the slightest amount of shade seems sufficient to protect them, as Mavis was able to watch the sunrise from the shadow of the hotel's chimney without being burned. Number 9. The name Mavis was initiated in the 1895 novel, The Sorrows of Satan by Marie Corelli, which featured a character named Mavis Clare. Mavis is said to be a rather odd, but suitable name, as she sings quite as sweetly as any thrush. Marie Corelli refers to the song thrush, a bird that breeds across Eurasia. It is known in the English dialect as Mavis or throstle. Between the 1920s and 1940s, the name Mavis had its height in popularity, but its usage declined as the name was seen as rather unfashionable since the 1960s. Number 10. Vampires here are also shown to have telekinesis, hypnotic powers, and the ability to defy gravity, walking on walls and ceilings.
30 years ago, you promised. I remember we were both eating mice, and you specifically said that you gave me your word.
Dracula and Mavis seem to prefer eating mice and scorpions rather than human blood.
It's a human paranoia. Human blood is so fatty and you never know where it's been.
Number 11. Even though she possesses the same vampire powers as her dad, hypnotism, supersight, strength, and speed, she doesn't use them very often. It wasn't until in Hotel Transylvania 2 that we saw Mavis use some of her powers, such as her increased strength, shape-shifting, and telekinesis. Number 12. The cave entrance Mavis took Jonathan to is shaped like the mask of a Phantom of the Opera. Number 13. In the beginning of Hotel Transylvania 2, Mavis poses for multiple pictures for her wedding day, despite not appearing in any of them due to her being a vampire. Number 14. In the second film, Mavis has a profile picture for her phone despite it being impossible for her or anybody else to have taken the picture. Number 15. In the second film, Mavis decides to fly back to Transylvania as a bat carrying Johnny because they were unable to get a flight in time. That would mean Mavis flew at least 6,000 miles from California to Romania while carrying Johnny. Number 16. Mavis' profile picture for her phone is from a scene in the first film where she is watching Johnny play his quick guitar song for her 118th birthday. To know more about Mavis, please visit the link below.